So this is everything that you need to pack in your hospital bag to take care of baby for the first 24 hours after birth. I know it can feel really overwhelming to know exactly what babies need, but take it from me, I've given birth twice now and had really positive experiences. So I've broken this down to make it super simple for you, and I've included quantities of how much of each item to pack. I've also included a list of things that you just don't need to pack right at the end of the video, so make sure that you stick around to the end. Hi lovelies and welcome, it's Funta here. Of course, everything is wonderfully organised in a packing cube. You guys know how I feel about packing cubes. I just feel like this just makes everything more organised and makes life a lot easier, and I'm here for it. So, first things, when it comes to packing baby clothes, the main thing to consider is the season that you're giving birth in. So, first time around, I gave birth in October, so I packed my little one an undergrow, a sleep suit, and also made sure that she had a cardigan, a hat and mittens. So it was quite cold by the end of October. I was very conscious of her getting too cold, particularly in transit from the hospital to the car. So you want to make sure that you've got enough layers for your baby. This time around, I'm giving birth in summer, so I think I'll need a lot less layers, but I am still packing a number of different layers so that I can layer up or take away layers as I need. The first layer you'll need is a baby grow. This is just a great basic layer to keep baby nice and cozy. I've gone for a newborn size, which I actually found was too big for my baby. So I don't feel the need to have another bigger size. I'm just sticking to these newborn ones. If your baby has been measuring a bit larger, then maybe you can opt for a slightly bigger size or take one of each size so that you have the option. I've packed 2 of these. I don't think I'll get through much more than that. I honestly can't get over how tiny these are as well. Like the thought of having a human this small, it's giving me all the feels. I've opted for sleep suits as baby's primary outfit to wear for going home because it's just super comfy and it's also the most practical option, but they can still be cute. I think these ones are cute. I've packed 3 sleep suits, 1 in a size newborn, 1 in a size 0 to 3 months, and 1 in a size that's for tiny babies, so slightly smaller than newborn. I already had all 3 sizes, which is why I'm going for all 3, and I'm not sure how big baby will be, so I like having the option of the 3, but first time around, I took 1 that was newborn and 1 that was 0 to 3 months, so I had the option of each size. I would recommend, if you can, take 1 of each size, just so that you have the option. And then once you get home and figure out how big baby is, then you can buy a size that's better fitting for them. This time around, I haven't packed mittens because the sleep suits that I've got actually fold over on the sleeve, which mean that I can use that to double over her hands as mittens. But if you don't have built-in mittens on your sleeves, then you might want to consider bringing a pair of mittens or socks, just something to cover baby's hands, because their nails can actually be very sharp when they're born. So you just want something to protect their hands so they don't scratch themselves. Of course, you're going to need nappies and wipes. You don't need tons, just 1 pack of wipes is plenty. And I've packed here 10 nappies, which is also plenty. I was in the hospital for less than 24 hours, about half a day, maybe around 12 hours. So I'm trying to be a bit conservative and I'm planning for a 24-hour sort of turnaround in the hospital, and 10 nappies is plenty for a newborn in the hospital for 24 hours. I've also packed a couple of nappy sacks just to make disposing of any dirty nappies a bit easier. Muslins. I have used muslins so much throughout having my little one, so I'm definitely packing 2 muslins with me. 1 is small, so this can act as a burp cloth or a very small wrap or just a surface that I can use to lay baby down on. I'm also taking a large muslin with me, and the main reason I'm taking this is because it's fantastic for swaddling. So if I do want to swaddle the little one, then I know that I've got that big muslin, and it also kind of doubles up as a loose and light blanket, which is quite nice and appropriate for a summer baby. If you are giving birth in winter, I would recommend going for a thicker blanket. That's what I did first time around. I had a nice thick woven blanket because that was appropriate and it made sure that the baby stayed very nice and warm. I'm also taking this cellular blanket with me because it's a little bit thicker than the muslin, and granted, it is summer, but it's also still London, so it could still be a bit breezy that day, or it may not be the warmest, so at least I have a warm option to wrap baby in if I need it. A washcloth. So I didn't take this first time around, and I wish I had something to gently clean baby's face. Standard practice in hospitals is not to actually bathe the baby in the hospital, because when you give them a bath, it can alter their body temperature quite drastically, and so they feel like it's safer for you to wait a couple of days and do that at home when baby's a little bit bigger, and maybe when you have a better environment, to make sure that you're giving them a nice safe bath. It's also recommended to delay bathing your baby immediately, just to protect their sensitive skin and to make sure you're not stripping out all of the oils and moisture from their skin. But I'm not gonna lie, my daughter was covered in all sorts after birth, as you can imagine. They did rub her down with some towels, but she did have like some bloody marks on her face, and so I just wish I had a nice clean baby washcloth that I could use warm water to just mop it down. I used a wipe first time around, and granted the wipe is just water, but I think using a warm bath cloth will be much nicer. So I think this is something that's worth having. This one is made from bamboo, so it's super soft and it should be nice and gentle on baby's skin. Even though my baby is being born in summer, I'm bringing a hat just in case it is a bit cooler or breezy that day. You could never tell here what the weather's actually going to be like, so I'd rather be prepared. And a hat is something they always recommend to put on baby immediately after birth to help regulate their temperature and to keep them nice and warm. A cardigan. Now, this is one that I actually don't think is essential if you've got a nice thick woven blanket. I'm taking this more for nostalgic reasons. It's been knitted by my nan, so it holds that sentimental value there, and so I'm going to take a little cardigan with me just in case it is a bit cooler and baby needs an extra layer to stay warm. I just think it will be really special to have my baby wearing something knitted by their great-gran? Yeah. So yeah, that's the main reason why I'm taking it. A couple of things that I'm not taking that I did take first time around and didn't use. The first one is baby socks. Because my little one first time around was wearing a baby grow, it actually had feet on it already, so she didn't actually need to wear socks. So this time around, I'm not bothering with socks. The exception is if you're using socks as mittens, then yes, I would say it is worth having socks so that you can have something on baby's hands. And actually maybe using socks instead of mittens might be a bit more of a versatile option because they can wear them on their hands or their feet. The second thing is formula. So first time around, I had read recommendations that it's good to take formula with you just in case you have trouble breastfeeding. You can supplement with formula. However, since then, I have learned a lot about breastfeeding, and I do intend to try breastfeeding again, hopefully to have another really enjoyable journey. And one of the key things I learned about breastfeeding is that it's very much on a supply and a demand basis, and introducing formula too early can actually make things more challenging and can affect the way your body is supplying milk. So I just want to give myself a chance to really give breastfeeding a go without introducing formula and potentially making things more challenging. This was a piece of advice given to us by a lactation consultant to not actually introduce bottles or formula so early on and just to focus on getting the breastfeeding right. So that's the advice I'm going to follow this time around. Also, baby's stomach is very tiny, so they're not going to need to eat very much. The small amounts of colostrum that my body will be producing is definitely sufficient to nourish baby, especially in those early few days. So hopefully we'll have a good breastfeeding journey. Just a note to say that what you'll need to feed your baby after birth depends on how you plan to feed your baby. So if you are bottle feeding, then yes, of course, you will need to bring some bottles and some formula if that's how you will be feeding them. So those are the essential baby bits to remember in your hospital bag. If you want a complete guide to the postpartum bits you need, then you're going to want to check out this next video. I've also put together an entire checklist of things to pack in your hospital bag in the description box below, so remember to check it out. If you found this helpful, then please give it a thumbs up and drop me a comment about other things that you're doing to make sure you're ready for the big day. If you made it this far, then thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe for more videos like this one. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!